Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
Road2Roto.com. Silver action. Silver is the funniest, scariest, most exciting opportunity out there today. I get the crypto stuff, mind you. I do. And when silver's finally freely traded after 180 years, I'll be spending most of the profit I get off my silver on the good cryptos, on Theta and T-Fuel and Veritasium. Holy crap. Hedra Hashgraph, guys, look out. Anybody that says we're going to monetize assets, we're going to securitize anything, you're running afoul on the blockchain, you're running afoul of Reggie's patent. So, yeah, XRP. I mean, he even lists XRP, doesn't say it by name. He talks about using cryptos for swaps. I mean, it should be obvious to all the XRP people that, you know, you're in bed with Reggie and Reggie's in bed with you. When XRP finally gets, if it ever gets what all the promoters have been saying for, you know, over 10 years, that XRP will be the new SWIFT system. If that happens, Reggie's going right along with it, and probably the Veritasium token, because it is 100% in violation of the Reggie Middleton patent. And XRP knows it. I mean, these guys know it. They don't like to think about it. The guys at Theta don't like to think about what patents Reggie has on their technology. But at the same time, they can't dismiss it because they have their own patents. Anybody saying that there shouldn't be any patents in cryptos don't understand cryptos and don't understand patents, truthfully. If it's decentralized, it doesn't matter if it has a patent. If it's truly decentralized, I mean, there's no point of friction. Anytime you involve a bank in anything, or if you're securitizing assets, that is friction, because somebody is there. Somebody is on the other side that can be sued for patent infringement. Even using a product that infringes on Reggie's patent is an infringement. So, I mean, if you're a crypto lover, the best thing you can do is get Veritasium, obviously. That's your insurance for what's about to come. Now, having said that, back to silver, we're looking at a lot of behind-the-scenes discussions, negotiations, you name it, is all happening behind the scenes. What you see in front of you, the price of silver, is completely ridiculous and useless and does not matter. If it said $31 or $310 or $3,100, it doesn't matter. We're still at over 90 to 1 gold silver ratio. We're still at a situation where silver's not freely traded, not even close to freely traded. Look at the latest volumes. Look at the volume. Just yesterday, 124,000 contracts. That's what, 600 million ounces of silver, when they're only mining about 830 million, traded in a day, dumped on the market because the U.S. government needs to control that price of silver. All governments do. And so do you. You need to control the price of silver. You, personally, it will affect you when silver goes to $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. If you don't have silver, physical silver in your own possession, or you do, it's going to affect you. If you have a phone, a smartphone, if you have a television, if you drive a car, any kind of car that's bought in the last 20 years uses a hell of a lot of silver. Electric cars, even more. Of course it matters. I mean, a car, not so much, because you're only using a few ounces for a $40,000, $50,000 product. But a cell phone, sure. A flat screen TV, especially 1 or 2 ounces in a flat screen. So flat screens are going to turn into something that is not disposable. Right now they're disposable. You can get beautiful high definition flat screen for like $300-400. Big one. If you add on, say it has an ounce of silver in it, you're adding on $1,000. When silver goes to $1,000, you're adding on $1,000 to a $300-400 product. That's going to make a difference. That's going to make it so that silver's not wasted. The price of that TV, people will actually stop throwing away their flat screen TVs, which they are doing now. I know so many people who just throw away their old TVs, even though they're pretty decent. and there's an ounce of silver that's thrown away. Maybe the silver recycling will really kick in at like $100 silver, but it can't kick in that fast. And whether or not we can extract the silver from solar panels, probably could, but what is the cost right now? There's a lot of solar panels in inventories, PERC solar panels. These are the solar panels that the Silver Institute doesn't even count. They never even counted them in all their expert numbers. So I saw Ginny Chase of Bloomberg Energy, who's the foremost expert on solar, giving a TED Talk. And what she said is the panels are so cheap, it's almost cheaper to put solar panels as your fencing instead of buying fencing. That's how cheap the solar panels are. But they're mostly PERC modules, which aren't as good as the TopCon, which uses 50% more silver. Now, yes, I do think it is coming down fast because they know what's about to happen. But I'm still of the camp that, at least in the past, this year and last year and the year before, the Silver Institute undercut the amount of silver used in solar panels by 50%. So they got 100% wrong. They're saying it's 210 million ounces and it's actually, 450. I don't know what to tell them. They can keep changing their historical numbers if they want, but they've been found out. Insane. All right. So what does this mean for silver? We are still above the moving averages. Will they go for the dump? If they do, look at the 200-day moving average, $30.45, and we're at $31.86. So you got a couple bucks down, potential down for silver over the next weeks or months. Only a couple bucks of of asset depreciating that far. But that's a floor. Anything under that $30.45 is a floor for silver. And it would take a lot for the world to say, oh my God, I don't want any silver. When the people find out, they've been hiding this from, and the way they hide it from the regular retail investor is hold the price steady or keep the price low. Tamp down the price, as the head of the CFTC says. And they're doing a good job of it. They know if the price of silver goes over $50, that's when everybody runs in. It's the exact opposite of what you think. Just think of all like the, GameStop and all that stuff. Which links into this, by the way. Here's what I want to show you as far as the iShares Silver. This is a good gauge of how iShares Silver was set up with Warren Buffett's money that the U.S. government stole, the banksters stole from Warren Buffett, threatened him to put him in jail if he didn't hand over the 130 million ounces. So with that 130 million ounces that he gave up, he made money on it, but he didn't want to give it up. They created the iShares Silver Trust, SLV, and it is a massive manipulation tool. So I wanted to show you guys what it looks like when we are in silver stress. Like in 2021, the beginning of it, we had the GameStop excitement, and there was supposedly going to be a silver short squeeze that never materialized, but it did materialize. It was just covered up, and it was sat upon by the banking cabal. Rustin Benham said we need to tamp down silver, and here's what they did. So this is the inventory. Right now, the inventory is at 482 million ounces of silver that are pledged to SLV. You notice I didn't say they have in the vault. They are pledged to SLV. How many other pledges do they have? A lot. Probably 5 times that. They use that as a base inventory. As Jeff Curry of Goldman Sachs said, it is the authorized participants of SLV that are the shorts on the COMEX. Well, he just gave up the ghost there because that silver is supposed to be sitting in SLV inventory without any encumbrances. That is completely against the opposite of what people buying SLV buy it for. They buy it for the appreciation in price of silver, and they wanted to gain off that. And it has a physical component, which made it legitimate. If they're using it as a derivative tool, like Jeff Curry of CPM Group says, of Goldman Sachs says, then that is completely against the fiduciary responsibility of BlackRock and JP Morgan. Surprise, surprise. BlackRock and JP Morgan. JP Morgan is the custodian of the silver, and BlackRock owns the silver ETF. I heard JP Morgan just got custodianship of gold as well. We like having the criminals. When this falls apart, we like having the criminals front and center. It'd be interesting to see the Epstein papers and Jamie Dimon's name pops up on that. Wonder what's going to happen to the largest derivative holder in the world, JP Morgan Chase. Yeah, they were knee deep, elbows deep in Epstein. The girls used to call him Jamie Dimon. That's how scary it is. But I can't think of a better person to be exposed than Jamie Dimon. Anyway, let's look at what happened last time. Last time that there was a silver squeeze or a silver rush was in right at the end of January, beginning of February. That's when it was almost hitting $30. Oh my God, we can't have $30. That's when Rust and Benham said, we were able to tamp down the price of silver. So how did they tamp it down? Look at this. The all-time high for the amount of silver reportedly in the iShares Silver Trust SLV was $729 million on February 2nd, 2021. Right in the heart of the silver squeeze to $30, right? Look what happened. It went from, in a matter of, at the beginning of the year, it was 599 million ounces, and within a month, it went to 729. So that's what, 130 million ounces just appeared out of thin air and showed up in Jamie Dimon's SLV's warehouse. You know how much silver is 130 million ounces? I don't even think you could ship that much to a warehouse in that amount of time, even with 50 trucks working 24/7. So it's a con. It's a fraud. But it's very interesting. Will we see the same type of thing? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't think so. I think SLV will end. I think COMEX trading will end, as well as pretty much all the banks. If Jamie Dimon as the girls called him, is implicated, wow, that would be huge, right? The largest bank in the world implicated the CEO and the board of directors, by the way, and other people at JP Morgan, higher ups, because JP Morgan was the only bank for these guys, for Epstein and his gang. If they're going to scrub out the JP Morgan stuff, if Pam Bondi does that, I would call foul right away. I would raise my hand and say, oh my God, the Trump administration is lying to us. So we already know it. We've done the research. They call him Jamie Dimon for a reason. He's an evil dude. He still is an evil dude. But imagine how many other banks were involved in this. And there's a lot. There is a lot. Especially over in England. So it's a big deal releasing the Epstein list. It's a big deal. But yeah, I'll be looking for Jamie Dimon's name right in the smack in the middle as one of the, returning customer. Obviously the Clintons were there and a lot of Hollywood people were there. But it's big. This is not a little thing. That's why they're having such a hard time releasing it. And if Jamie Dimon's not on that, explain to me how that didn't happen. That's a cover-up by the Trump administration. I don't want to see that. Pam Bondi, Don Juan. Don, you're the man. You're doing great things, but you cannot continue the cover-up. But Bix, it'll destroy the economic system that I love. Exactly. That's how we get from here to there. There, meaning your golden age doesn't happen by fixing or maintaining the old system. The only way your golden age happens is if we destroy the debt on the planet and start fresh. So, that's my take anyway. Again, we are looking at I think the first delivery day is on Monday of next week. This is for the silver delivery. On the COMEX, I'm not, I never have faith in the COMEX. Although they had a massive month, close to 25 million, about 24 million ounces delivered in a non-delivery month. That would be a good delivery month. I mean, December was gigantic at 9,000 contracts, 45 million ounces. Do I think we'll hit that? It could. But the thing is, remember, these are criminals taking delivery from criminals. I mean, look at who the biggest taker of the silver is. Right here, J.P. Morgan Chase. Their customer account, under customers, because they can't do it on their own because they've been pretty much kicked out of that. But that's what we're looking at. J.P. Morgan, of the 25 million that were delivered this month, J.P. Morgan customers, the little shell companies, took 10 million ounces of it. And then their customers put in 5 million ounces. That's where the con's happening. Bank of America right here, who took the lease from J.P. Morgan. Here's my prediction. I don't know anything, right? I don't know what's going on. My prediction is Bank of America is the largest deliverer of physical silver next month. And it all has to do with the J.P. Morgan leases. J.P. Morgan will be the biggest taker. Bank of America will be the biggest deliverer. That means the delivery people are the shorts. You look at Standard Chartered Bank. That's 10 million ounces almost that Standard Chartered Bank delivered, meaning they were short going into the close. Obviously, they're a silver rigger. So, yeah, it'll be exciting. I don't think people are going to say, oh, my God, look, 100 million ounces of silver are being delivered on the COMEX, because that's not how it works. They would just change the rules. No deliveries on COMEX. It's their game. They make the rules. And the open interest is just, it's fallen at 10,000 contracts per day by the end of the month. In the next 2 to 3 days, that'll go down to probably under probably 7 or 8,000 contracts. And then by the end of the month, they'll probably deliver 45 to 50 million ounces. It's not where silver is being gobbled up. Silver is being gobbled up in London for these things right here, the exchange for physical. This is buying a COMEX futures and option contract, sending it over to the LBMA to be delivered. And this is another, 3.5 million. It's a decent month. They've been doing this 1.2 billion ounces every year for the last 4 years, the EFPs. That's a lot of silver taking delivery. A lot of it goes to Shanghai Exchange in China, and then it goes through that to India. India probably will do, everything being equal. I heard the India solar installation was up 200% in 2024, up 200%. And they've stated they're going green. They're spending all their money on solar. They're getting most of their panels from China, but all those panels have silver in it. But they're also importing, last year was like 280 million ounces, approximately. I haven't seen the quote official numbers. 280 million ounces. Where did it all go? Some went into solar. A lot went into jewelry. And jewelry in India is completely different than jewelry in the United States of America. That's dowry. That's money. That's savings for people in India. Gold and silver jewelry, that's what they save with, because they don't trust banks, and who would? And they go by, literally, they sell it by weight. Gold chains and all that stuff. Not just do bars, really. In the United States, the markup is like 1,000% for gold and silver jewelry compared to the melt value of the jewelry. That's the way it is because that's the way they want it. All right, the failure of the U.S. Mint is so ridiculous. Now, they changed the website. This updated website is the biggest joke you've ever seen in your life. This is the website, and it's terrible. It's very hard to find American Eagle sales totals, and I know why you don't want them to find it. Look, only 3.5 million were made in December, and 514,000 right now in January or February. These numbers have literally fallen off the cliff, but they still are on allocation. They're still withholding silver from all the dealers. This is just an insane world that we live in. But that's the way it is. The head of the Now, this is interesting that Trump has not fired Ventris Gibson yet. He put everybody on leave, the DEI stuff, diversity, equity, inclusion, except the Queen Poobah of diversity, equity, and inclusion, Ventris Gibson, the HR, Washington, D.C. HR director extraordinaire. Got put as head of the Mint. It's so insane. Listen to my 3-part discussion. Go to roadruder.com. 3-part discussion with the head of Silver Eagle Sales, a guy who'd been there for 40, 50 years, since 1980. He came in the late 80s, right after the Silver Eagle program and Gold Eagle program had started in 87, I think it was. And he'd been there at head of sales. Now, he was like a sales guy in the beginning, and he became head of sales for the last 30 years, 25 years. And he was like 75 years old. I've tried to reach out. He hasn't called me back. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, he said, this is ridiculous. Ventris Gibson has destroyed the U.S. Mint, is now the number 2 mint. The Biden administration literally destroyed the U.S. Mint. We all know what Trump thinks about gold. I'll guarantee he thinks 1,000 times more about silver. So why hasn't he appointed a mint director yet? Well, Bessent is the guy who appoints it based on, Trump's suggestions. But yeah, kind of crazy. Ventris Gibson, DEI destroys the mint, and Trump won't fire him. What the hell? Fire her, put David Ryder back in, go on to a gold and silver standard, and all our problems will be solved. Epstein files coming out this weekend. Like I said, any bankers on there, it should be, if the bankers are hidden from this, I'm calling foul on the Trump dynasty. Pam Bondi. I think everybody should be included. If they're not going to include everybody, they need to tell people why. Would Jamie Dimon being on Epstein's list destroy the very fragile bank called J.P. Morgan Chase with $50 trillion in derivatives? Good night. You pull that plug and it's, whoa, baby. So interesting times. I don't see this system lasting through the first quarter. With all the things that are going on, the only way this can end up is the complete destruction of the old system and the beginning of something new. Get your silver in your own possession. Go to your local coin shop. If you don't have your own guy or you don't trust your own guy, they're shady little characters. No offense, Greg. I have a couple guys that they shady little characters. Go to our guy, Andy Scheckman, milesfranklin.com. Send them an email. info@milesfranklin.com. Only buy what they have in inventory. I think they have pre-1965 coinage, which is the best you can get because of counterfeiting laws, not just fraud laws. And all silver will come into question very soon. Same with all gold, because there's a lot of fakes out there. But pre-65 coinage, you're pretty much guaranteed to have the real thing. It just doesn't make sense for people to fake a coin like that because it's such a small amount. And it would be very difficult to do to make even the silver plate. Think about mercury dimes. Can you silver plate molybdenum to make a mercury dime? It wouldn't make sense. Bars, yeah, you can do that. All you have to do is drill into them, fill it with molybdenum, cap it with the extra silver, and you got voila. You save a lot of money. So all bars will be drilled. Same with gold. I remember seeing identical Tamp bars of gold. I think it was the 10-ounce bar. And it looked beautiful. Nobody wants to scratch even their gold bars, but this, it started cracking, and the coin shop that owned it said, what the hell is this? There's a crack in this gold bar. They peeled it back, and it was just a gold coating over the top, and it was tungsten under it, which is very similar density. So make sure you get the right kind of silver and crypto investment in your own possession only now. Now is not the time to mess around with, I can make more money in a mining share. No, you can't. You can lose all your money in a mining share. Because, yes, what they have in the ground is so valuable, it's too valuable. Of course, everything will be nationalized when the banks collapse. You're going to demand it yourself. All your friends and family will say, oh my God, What are we going to use as money? Wait, we have gold and silver on the books in the United States of America. Let's go to that. So I got for you, this is Bix Weir, roadtoroot.com.